Expect the unexpected. We didn't want anybody to expect anything less from us than we expected from ourselves, and we really wanted to turn things around.
It was a special night for the program.
The Longhorn football team is proud to announce that they are dedicating their 2010 season in Mike's honor.
We were able to honor Mike Barr and his family. It was a special night for me as a head coach, playing against the top-notch St. John's program that's had a lot of success.
From the beginning of the season, we knew we had the skill players and the line to do the right things we can do, and the very first play just showed that we could get off on a great start.
We called it a right 93 go, and it was one of those things that we just wanted to throw out there right from the beginning and not be so conservative, and it definitely was executed and executed well for a touchdown and got our season off to a great start.
Good pitch down to Andrews in the grid. Cuts up inside. Missed tackle. Breaking tackle. He's going to get you. 71-yard touchdown.
We ended up being down by a touchdown. We had to put together a 50-yard drive to score and win the game, and it was pretty much me and Chance Randall, just 14-16, 14-16. Just running it down their throats, and we drove the ball probably 50 yards, as I said, and ended up scoring the touchdown, and that was a big moment for sure.
It was a great night for the kids. They battled back through some adversity and showed that they weren't going to be quitters, and they came back from behind and beat a solid St. John's program. Mingus was one of the better teams that we saw. I think they would definitely compete with Blue Ridge. Their size and quickness and just their physicalness was tough.
When we showed up, we were a little intimidated, but I mean, I think after the first half, we started to get comfortable with it.
The kids, you know, realized that once they kind of settled down and gained their composure, that they could play with Mingus.
My favorite game was Mingus, definitely Mingus. I had 12 tackles in that one single game. It was pretty awesome. And I don't know, scored a touchdown in that game. It was just a great game.
Well, it was actually 19-0, and then we decided to come back. I mean, we had a bunch of drives downfield and then turnovers and just dumb mistakes. As soon as I started getting more confident in myself, I started making the right reads and throwing 2 touchdown passes.
It's unfortunate that we gave up those points, those cheap points at the end, because that game, I think, it got us some recognition, and you know, those people that weren't at the game saw a different score than what the true outcome of that game was.
Just staying with a team like that just gives us more confidence throughout the season.
I just think we let it get away from us.
The Round Valley game was, the very first game was awesome because we blew them out and everybody had a great game, and it was just a fun game to watch all your highlights.
Line blocked real well, and just everything seemed to happen just right, and it's like nobody could bring me down. It was actually originally a dive play, and I hit the hole and made contact and spun off of it and then took off, and this huge guy was coming at me, and I just like, all right, I'm lowering my shoulder, and you know, he was twice my size, so I was like, he's not going to get lower than me, I just better grab my legs. And, you know, he decided not to go for my legs. Like, all right, you know, your mistake for not going for my legs, and spun off and scored a touchdown.
Our kids just jumped out to a great start, and 35-0 at halftime. I don't think anyone would have predicted that, but our kids really were focused that week, and again, I think that we played as a team on both sides of the ball, and it was a great victory for our program. Senior night against Alchese, one of the highlights for me over the season was having Russ Hinsey taking off his equipment and giving it to Sam Lamont, and letting Sam Lamont, a lineman, carry the football, basically the last play of the game for us.
Having my friends like right there in front of me, even on the field, even off the field, especially when they have me run the ball, it was fun.
And just hearing him pray after the game, he just reiterated all those things that the coaches preached throughout the season. Mr. Lawson, it's hard for me to call him Bill because it was Principal Lawson, but both him and his wife have contributed, gosh, 31 years. For those two to contribute that many years of service is phenomenal, if not overwhelming to me. Our kids were down early, but they came back and battled back.
Coach Perone, Papa P, the special teams guy, always week in and week out sets up a great return against each and every team. Sholo, we put together a return all week. Payson only had to pick up the left guy on the far south side. I mean, they kicked the ball deep and right in my hands, and everything set up perfect, and there was a hole, and I just ran to daylight.
Once Weston got that return, it just hyped our spirits, and we just were in a shootout right there.
As soon as Wade called that play in the huddle, I knew I had to catch this ball. And then just running down it, Josh Weeks right there, and Wade threw a perfect ball right into my hands. It was a perfect pass.
It was an intense atmosphere. You know, we've always clashed with them for some reason. We've always had close games with them, and
I never wanted to win a game so bad. And Raven Reisdorf and Trevor MacArthur and Josh Weeks, and I mean, they got a good crew up there, but we played them tough.
They came out and expected a little less of us, and then we surprised them in the first half.
Being down 25-20 at halftime was not a bad place to be against a Sholo team that prior to playing us was up 18-10 against a solid Blue Ridge program. But our kids came back out and played a solid second half.
I'll ever be doing a play on the play.
And we had an opportunity to win that game. You know, it came down to basically who had the ball last, and unfortunately we had an errant penalty, or a penalty that really just cost us.
The pass interference call was huge. I had Weeks man-to-man, and he ran about a 10-yard post, skinny post. And they had beaten us on that route all night long. And I jumped Weeks' route, and he ran out my back. And unfortunately, the call didn't go our way, and it gave him a first down. But I mean, that's part of the game. You're going to get those calls, and you're not going to get those calls.
And it kept Sholo's drive alive, and they punched it in with 23 seconds to go, and it ended up beating us 45-41. Even though we lost, I think those kids made a statement that they were the real deal, and that they could play with any 3A team in the state.
We don't want to see it again, and I didn't think that was going to be an easy game. I'm disagreeing with your coach right there. We knew we were up against it. You guys flat out hit. You come off the ball well. You're a great team. Keep it up. You guys are doing good. Hey, give me
You know, Randy, that was a classy move on his part. I appreciated it from a coaching perspective.
It was really encouraging to me to get that kind of compliment from a team and a coach like that, because I knew it was genuine.
The Sholo has a good program, and they're well respected, and that was real nice of that coach.
That meant a lot to me, as saying like another coach, probably first time ever happened through my whole high school career that a coach ever came over to our huddle after game and tell them that we played great and we got hard.
It was nice to hear from other people that they too think that we should have won that game, that we played better than we have before. I think that was probably our best game out of the entire year.
Weston always wanted to have the ball in his hands. He always wanted to be that person to lead our team to victory. And he always expected a lot out of himself. He always expected a lot out of others. Payson, he's a superstar on the football field, and just a tough kid to bring down, especially at his size. He's got a heart of the champion.
When Weston would hurdle people, I get pretty excited. That was pretty intense.
It was really fun to be able to block for Payson and just be able to work as a team in that aspect, for sure.
There's no way we could have done it without those other guys.
I just ran the ball and line blocked real well, and just everything seemed to happen just right.
You know you got to get a hole for them, but it can be the smallest hole in the world, and Payson and West will fight their way and find themselves their own hole. I mean, they need us, but those kids, they can get a move on it, and they know what to do once they get in the open field.
Hand off to Aaron over left side, cutting up his heart, bounces off, he's still running hard,
Gibson on the end around, he puts it back, looking for running room, he's going to find the ball.
He pushes me day in and day out. He makes me want to work hard. He breaks the game down for me and slows it down. He has a vision that's incredible, and he has taught me so much, and I'm so grateful for that.
We always compete. We always, ask each other questions. How'd you do this? How'd you do that? And, and it ends up helping each other in the long run. And, it's awesome to have somebody like that.
He's my brother. I love that kid to death, and I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to establish that relationship with him when we first started playing football in 6th grade. So I'm just so grateful for that. I love you, Pace, and I got your back forever, man.
Gunnar Bauer is probably one of the most coachable kids I've ever worked with. I think that out of all the athletes that are seniors, I think he's got the potential, or at least the most upside to him. I think that he could probably go and play at the next level if he would work in the off season and bulk up a little bit. Clint Harper, I would say, is an inspirational leader on the team. He's just a kid that has his priorities right, and is going to be a force to be reckoned with next year. He never put himself above the team and just wanted the best for the team at all times. So I'm looking forward to getting him back, and I'm looking for him to be a leader next year. Chase Walden, got him on first team defense as far as all conference goes. Just a hard-working, hard-nosed kid that is going to do great things in the future. He is definitely a gifted athlete. Jake's a very coachable kid, very much like Gunnar Bauer. Very cerebral kid, very bright kid. Jake did make some great plays this year on the defensive side of the ball, and you know, maybe we should have used him more on the offensive side of the ball. But again, he is a coach's dream. I'm a big preacher of quiet confidence. The kids know what that means, and Jake Sleeper is a true example of what that term quiet confidence is. And he played that way week in, week out, and again, just a leader on and off the field. Just we're gonna miss Jake a ton. Ryan was just that leader in the secondary that we missed. You know, towards the end of the year, he was obviously a great kick returner. Having Payson and Weston and Ryan Rislin to kick the ball to. I know a lot of coaches were kicking the ball out of bounds because they didn't want to kick to either of those three. But Ryan is he's what I would say a true team player. Put his team before himself. I think has the potential to play, you know, at the next level too if he'll you know, bulk up a little bit. He's just again a smart, hard-nosed, tough football player that is a coach's dream as well. Sean is again a very cerebral player as well. Challenged the coaches a lot of times just because he knew the way things were supposed to be done. Was always a leader on and off the field. He was one of those guys that was always around in the off season. He just has given everything to this football program from day one. We'll definitely miss Sean Ford and his leadership abilities. We didn't have Jake his freshman year, and we didn't have him his sophomore year either. He actually came out his junior year, and within those 2 seasons, he's you know, made himself into a top-notch lineman. Actually, the coaches voted him first team all-conference. Was our one lineman that received that award. We'll definitely miss Jake and his quiet leadership. Justin Marotti, a kid that's been with me for 4 years. I think he's made a lot of progress in his 4 years. I think he definitely finished his senior year off being a better player. And when you ask Justin to do something, he would do it 100%. And Justin is a great kid with a great sense of humor. You know, just one of those quiet guys that every coach wished they could have a Justin Marotti on their team. Cameron Geske, he really picked up the slack when Ryan Rislin went down, and was just a leader on the field. Probably one of the hardest hitting kids that you'll ever meet. Cameron just plays the game with such a physical, almost violent style, but you know, he's such a great kid off the field. Just a very quality, character-filled individual that is the first guy to shake your hand and tell you, well done. We're definitely going to miss him, and just his physicalness that he brought to the field.